jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports,
in the building. Tyrese on deck, man. What's good? About time Keith did something that made sense. I agree, bro. I agree. Jamal Neasy is in the building. Salute WCS and salute to the chat, man. Salute to you, Neasy on deck. Let's start cooking, no doubt. Thinkers Think is in the building. What's good with it? Big Blunts and Boxing the GOAT is in the building. Salute to you on deck. Shout out to Carlos Rosado in the building. Keith trying to come in and take the rent money. WCS salute. Hottest chat in the MF and game. Salute. A-Side official. You know what I'm saying? That's what's up. That's what we own. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the young mind himself. Athletic Mind on deck, man. Man, great content, man. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I can't imagine what's in store for you. Appreciate you pulling up, big dog. Salute to you. Y'all definitely go check out Athletic Mind. Boxaholic is his new channel. You know what I'm saying? Brother got some skills over there, man. Some geniusness. Rebel is in the building. What's good with it, Rebel? WCS, salute, my guy. Salute to you, brother. Jessica is in the building. Salute to you. WCS in the chat. I see you. Hey, so first of all, I want to give a big shout out to the hottest chat in the MF and game. A-Side. 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 A-Side official. Yes, sir. We ain't coming in there acting like we negotiating a damn thing. You know what I'm saying? They already know where we coming from. We already know. Looking at the thumbnail, man, Thurman calls out Ennis. You feel me? You feel me? Those of you that's in the building, just do me a favor and just softly hit that like button. Or if you got some shit to get off your chest, you know what I'm saying? Land a punch or two or three or four. You know what I'm saying? With an elbow and a knee. You know what I'm saying? No particular order. Do what you got to do to get your mind right. It's Thursday, y'all. We're about to head into Friday, you know, about several more hours from now. But before we hit Friday, man, I want to talk about a situation that I just let marinate for a minute because I want to see what the play is. I want to see what the play when it comes down to why a lot of individuals not taking this particular fight right here in this matchup serious. Let's get down to some points of reference. Former unified welterweight champion Keith Thurman used to be the man, no doubt about it. He was the WBC and the WBA title holder. He was a unified. He was the man. He was one time. The man came in the sport in 2007. Way up the ranks, man. I'm not gonna lie, welterweight division, Keith Thurman was the man. And a name that was chasing him was Errol Spence Jr. But along that journey that he was on, I guess his body started to break down. Keith Thurman, man, in the last 6 years, he's had about 3 fights, y'all. It is the weirdest scenario because when I start to think, right, some of this shit to certain people will look like a kaleidoscope. You know what I'm saying? It just look like pieces ain't meant to be put together, but they do. What's weird about Keith Thurman is that he would never give Errol Spence the shot when he had the titles. Because from what I heard, he had some injuries and shit like that. So he went on a hiatus, and then he was able to come back and fight Manny Pacquiao, an older Manny Pacquiao. And he was dropped in the first round, I believe, and he'd go on to lose that title. But the wildest part about it is that the hiatus that he's been on, 3 fights in the last 6 years. Then Errol Spence, who was chasing Keith Thurman, he too, when he was on the hunt for Unified, he fought Sean Porter, and then he went on a hiatus. We all know he had the accident after Sean Porter. He too went on a hiatus. I mean, it was just weird that those two individuals, man, they really, it was really weird how it played out for them, because they was considering themselves to be the fighters who had multiple belts in the division. They was considering themselves to be the man, because Keith Thurman couldn't develop a rival like Terrence Crawford did to Errol Spence. I'm talking about before they even stepped in the ring. Everybody heard Errol Spence calling out Keith Thurman, but that was about it. You know what I'm saying? He never gave him the time of day. So Errol had to wait till Keith Thurman went on hiatus and then come off that WBC belt. And then that's when, Sean Porter and Danny Garcia fought for the WBC vacant. And it would turn out that Errol Spence would finally get a hold of one of Keith Thurman's belts, but through a third party and Sean Porter. And we all seen what happened. It was a very close fight, and he won by split decision. For Jaron Ennis and Keith Thurman, if I didn't tell you, is 30 victories in, 1 defeat, 22 knockouts. Alias one time, right? Been in the sport way longer than Jaron Ennis. Way longer. Came in 07. For Jaron Ennis, he sits at 31-0 and 28 knockouts, right? And this young lion came in the sport in 2016. You know what I'm saying? 2016. So we seen a lot go on while Jaron Ennis was climbing the ladder. Rung for rung, you know what I'm saying? He was sitting back watching how everything was playing out up top. Jaron was sitting there watching. He was just sitting there watching, man. He's seen the shit with Keith Thurman, seen the shit with Errol Spence. He's seen when Terrence Crawford came into the division. You know what I'm saying? He's seen it all when he finally came into the division, and he was ranked number 15. I did a live stream on that. How he was moved from 15th all the way to 3, all the way to 2. You know what I'm saying? How the whole process played out. Somehow, some way, along the line, the division ended up being a bit stalled out. You know what I'm saying? It was only really one moving part. I'm gonna be honest. It was like one moving part. It was Errol Spence collecting the belts, because when Terrence Crawford came up here and fought Jeff Horn, the plan wasn't for him to go over there and pick up the WBA belt. It would have been nice for him to pick it up. It wouldn't have made a difference. It would have looked better. You know what I'm saying? But they wanted to get as much leverage as possible for Errol Spence to pick up this WBC and the WBA title, while Terrence Crawford continued to knock him down. You know what I'm saying? So Boots is up here watching everything plays out. And one time or another, Boots was in the WBO. Before he got that IBF interim title shot, he was in the WBO. But they decided to leave the WBO and go to the IBF, which would have lined him up with Errol Spence. In the meantime, seeing how everything was working out, seeing the failed negotiation, and then actually witnessed them get into the ring, Boots was in line to be the next up for Errol Spence Jr., because I know deep down inside they probably felt that would be the easier fight. That would definitely be the easier fight for them. Plus, what better way to collect multiple belts at one time, rather than a single belt? And you know what I'm saying? You come in there with a medium risk, high reward. Now, I'm being a little bit disrespectful if I'm saying Errol Spence will be a medium risk to Jaron Ennis. I'm being disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? It'll be high risk, high reward. Okay. Because I'm not gonna do Spence like that. I don't know what type of Spence would have fought. Him and Jaron Ennis would have fought, but I felt it would be competitive, right? So if I'm looking at him being in the IBF rankings and then sitting back and watching Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford play out, and also remembering how everything that led up to this fight happened in July 29th and how so many people was throwing Jaron and his name around in the conversation to face Crawford. They really never put it out there for him to face Errol Spence. It was just always Crawford throwing his name, just like they're doing now. Throw his name. In the meanwhile, Keith Thurman haven't went nowhere. You know what I'm saying? It was a situation a good ways back when Devin Haney was going at Gary Russell Jr. And, they was actually thinking that, this fight was going to go anywhere. And it was good publicity. I mean, it had the airways pretty much tuned in. Like the airways was active on the YTC when those talks was going back and forth about some freaking term sheet and all that bullshit. But in the meanwhile, Keith Thurman came out. I guess when Gary said he'll move up and face Terrence Crawford. And, he said something to the point that pissed Terrence off, and Terrence had to come on here. And that's when he said he'll break his back. He'll break Gary Russell back. But in the meanwhile, Keith Thurman came out and said, hey, I'll fight, Terrence Crawford. But nobody really took it serious. They said that Keith Thurman was pricing himself out. He was wanting something like $10 million and all that other shit, right? So with all this stuff is playing out, with them trying to put Jaron Ennis in the name of Crawford, I wanted to hit the reset button for a minute. And this is what I want to reset. I wanted to hit the reset button and start off the way it began for Crawford when he started coming up the welterweight ranks. Like Crawford was undisputed at 140 and came up to 147 with an immediate title shot, right? And that's rightfully so. That's not what we're seeing from Jaron Ennis, though. Jaron Ennis just was, able to get the interim IBF title. He looked okay. Right? He looked okay. And then he fought a tough opponent in Roman Villa, stopped him. But still, that's considerably nobody was looking for Roman Villa. Nobody. So his resume is still a bit in the development stages, right? With those development stages, we watch Crawford go through this entire scenario with the naysayers and doubters saying he need to fight somebody. Now, Crawford had no problem fighting Spence, but at points, he got frustrated and said he didn't need the man for his legacy no more because he just felt like it was no way the PBC was going to allow him to get that fight. I mean, he pretty much knew what was going on behind the scenes. But the naysayers and everybody else are saying, no, he don't deserve no fight with Errol Spence and all this other shit. I'm like, what? He's accomplished more in his career. And then they was acting like he ain't did shit. They look at Julius Ndongo and they say he ain't did shit, right? So it got to a point where they wanted him to fight common opponents of Errol Spence. He ended up doing that, and they say they was a shell of himself. Now that brings us full circle to Jaron Ennis and Keith Thurman. Everybody's been tossing Jaron Ennis' name around to put him in there. I'm like, huh? No, hold up. Pump the brakes. Hold up. What are you talking about? I know it's not a protocol, and this is all banter when it comes down to it. You know what I'm saying? We just doing a little verbal sparring here in the YTC, but hold up. So you saying y'all trying to catapult Jaron Ennis right into the square with Crawford, who's a two-time undisputed champion, who's did 10 times more than Jaron Ennis. But y'all not boosting up Jaron Ennis, Keith Thurman? Isn't that what y'all did with Kell Brook and Sean Porter when it came to Terrence Crawford? Absolutely, you did. Why y'all haven't been showing Keith Thurman that respect? The man was a former undisputed champion, whether he's had 3 fights in the last 6 years or not. The man used to be the man. Keith Thurman used to be the man. That doesn't go away. He's accomplished more than Ennis in the welterweight division. He did. He accomplished more than Ennis in the welterweight division. And they have just about the same amount of professional fights. Now, of course, Ennis has been able to accumulate a slew of fights in such a short window. But with him, dealing with inflation and everything when it comes to his box rec, Keith Thurman at this point in time, I would say it's the perfect fight for Jaron Ennis, because how can you say, well, he should just skip over a common opponent of Terrence Crawford? You know what I'm saying? Because Errol Spence never did anything, right? When it comes to Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman never really invited Errol Spence into the ring to fight. And neither has Crawford been able to fight Keith Thurman. But let's talk about common opponents, though. A common opponent, I don't think it's going to happen, because it seems like Jaron Ennis haven't been really interested in a common opponent with Terrence Crawford or Errol Spence. I don't think he's been interested. But when it comes to Keith Thurman, we can talk about a former champion, because Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford, and Keith Thurman have been former champions. You know what I'm saying? Current or former champions. The perfect fight for Jaron Ennis right now that they're not pushing is Keith Thurman. Now, you can't use that Canelo, oh, I'm not going to get credit for it. Right now, you need any credit you can get. Just like, Terrence Crawford had everything, from 140 moving up here, stopping everybody at 147. And they were, and then comparable to Errol Spence, they was pretty much saying he ain't fought nobody in his life. He ain't fought nobody that's reputable. They give credit to. His FICO was low when it comes to his welterweight, appraising value. He could do nothing right. But all of a sudden, it just seems like Jaron Ennis' name just get grabbed. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know why they find it so easy just to toss this man's name around like he's that dude. Like, he's just community property. You know what I'm saying? It's a bit weird. Seriously. Like I know they keep Bud name in their mouth all the time. But I'm saying, when it came to Bud, y'all wanted him to fight Kell Brook and Sean Porter. Y'all wanted to fight a common opponent. Why isn't the same energy delegated to Jaron Ennis to fight something, to fight a common opponent, common champion, somebody who was important in the welterweight division? Y'all just want that man to get a free shot. Oh, man, Crawford should do this. No, give him the same freaking tip of the arrow that you was giving Terrence Crawford. Have that man fight somebody that's held down a position at the welterweight division, as in a Keith Thurman. And speaking of Keith Thurman, I like Keith Thurman. You know why? Because he just came out recently and he said, God damn it, Jaron Ennis, I want all the smoke. Keith Thurman is finding out that a lot of people have forgotten about him. And for good reason, because you've been out the ring, man. I know your wife is doing very well. From what I understand, she's with money or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And I'm happy for him. I'm happy for Keith. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, this has nothing to do with that. But Keith Thurman is pretty much trying to insert himself into the equation, whether it's with Terrence Crawford, or better yet, he tells Jaron Ennis, hey, sign the contract, man. I'll fight you. I'll fight you. And you know the wild part about Keith Thurman is his last fight was February 2022, y'all. He's been out the ring over a year, damn near a year and a half at this point in time. So people, the biggest deal with him is how's he gonna look in there with somebody that's just fought not too long ago, who's been pretty active. Because you look at Keith, right? Keith had check this out. Look at this schedule. Keith had one fight in 2016, one fight 2017, two fights in 2019, right? And then from 2019 until February 2022, he had a hiatus. When he came off the Manny Pacquiao loss, he didn't come back into the ring in February 2022. So he's had some stints where he's been on a leave of absence for whatever reason. Is Jaron Ennis a good name for him to come back? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I agree. You know what I'm saying? Keith Thurman called him out a lot. Look, people like Keith Thurman, believe it or not. Keith Thurman is a good talker. He's entertaining. You know what I'm saying? He knows how to sell a fight. And Lord knows if you're going in there with Jaron Ennis, he needs to be in there to sell this fight, because I don't think Jaron Ennis, he need to learn from Crawford. For real. He need to learn from Crawford, man. Bro, start being a bit more vocal. You know what I'm saying? I know that's not pretty much your persona. You know what I'm saying? Your type of bravado. I get it. You know, Ennis come off as a cool, laid back cat. I get it, bro. But when it comes to this money, when it comes to putting butts in the seats, when it comes to people want to come see you fight, sooner or later, man, you're going to have to speak up. And there's nothing wrong with speaking up in a way that people don't take offense to it. You know what I'm saying? That they love hearing you talk. Like, people love hear Keith Thurman selling fights. Keith Thurman don't get out of control with it. But I think him coming back and saying that, you know, sign the contract there, Jaron Ennis, I think is good. I think it's good publicity. I think it's what we need right now. I think it's warranted in the welterweight division, because Keith Thurman don't seem like he's moving up to 154 anytime soon. He doesn't seem like he's about to move, man. So I mean, if you don't want to fight Keith Thurman, I don't know what the deal is, because he is a former unified champion. So Jaron, if there's any contract to sign that people are waiting on you to step in there, just like they was waiting on Crawford. You know what I'm saying? They say they was waiting on Crawford to fight a fight. They're waiting on you to fight that fight. You know what I'm saying? So you go in there and fight a former unified champion, you would have done something tremendous, what people wouldn't expect. You're talking about going there and fighting a guy who had 2 belts. 2 belts. You will have Keith Thurman on your resume, 2 belts. It don't matter how long a hiatus he was on. Keith Thurman only has 1 loss there, Ennis. 1 freaking loss, bro. And that's from a legend. That's from 8th division world champion Manny Pacquiao. So, you know, if you're looking at Keith as being out the ring, I'm not going to get credit. No, bro, you can't use that, man. We want to see it. You know, if Keith Thurman want all the smoke, that's your guy right there. You know, do us all a favor. You know what I'm saying? Fight somebody of relevance. I don't think you're going to get the Terrence Crawford fight anytime soon, but please fight somebody of relevance. Somebody that can really, you know, get the boxing community perked up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Let us see it, bro. Because, you know, your record is still in the development stages, bro. You need a name, 2 or 3 on there to start building up, you know, people, you know, requesting to see you fight. You got to learn from those who was in front of you. Like, if the media isn't your deal, then you got to go in here, because Canelo don't talk much. I'm not going to tell the brothers they have to go out here and do, you know, something different and tap dance and shit. I ain't going to say that. But you have to find a way to perform in the ring that people want to call you back. know what I'm saying? They want to call you back and see when the next time you fight. They, you want your performance to radiate even when the fight is over, and have people looking for you to say, okay, when is he due back in the square? That was an entertaining fight that he had. You haven't given us that yet. You can't say you gave it to us off Ramon Villa, because no one really knew who he was based off Rashidi Ellis. And no one wasn't looking for Rashidi Ellis either. You know what I'm saying? So they're looking for you for a big name at 147. And the big name still with one loss. Is Keith Thurman. You know what I'm saying, Jaron? So if you want that name, man, and for people to start going there and do him dirty, if you feel that he's been on a hiatus and you're a better fighter than Keith Thurman, man, go in there and do him dirty. Keith was just on live. He was talking shit to Bud in a playful manner. He said, "Listen, I'm the man." My face ain't gonna look like Spence. I'm gonna tell you that right now. That ain't gonna happen. So Keith Thurman already feel that he's not gonna look like Errol Spence in no way, shape, form. He's not gonna get beat up like that. And what better person to welcome Keith Thurman back into the square than you? You know what I'm saying, Ennis? You the one. That is a perfect fight for you to face Keith Thurman. The perfect fight, bro. You know what I'm saying? It puts a quality name on your resume. It provides you the exposure that you're looking for with the boxing fans. It gives you a pretty credible dance partner. That's what we want to see on your resume, man. And we want to see your performance too. We want to see, your boxing IQ when it comes to Keith Thurman. Can you make Keith Thurman look like a fool? Can you outclass Keith Thurman? Can you outwork Keith Thurman? You know what I'm saying? Can you force Keith Thurman to open up a new bag of tricks? You know what I'm saying? Can you make Keith Thurman look like he's been out the ring for over a year and a half? That's what we want to know. Or will you go in there and fight Keith Thurman tooth and nail and make it the toughest fight of your career from somebody who's been out the ring that long? Let us know, bro. Let us know. Let me get to the chat. Keith desperate than a mug. He might as well just fight Clarissa. That's the fight he don't need. And Carlos, why would you say he desperate? If I was a former unified champion and I've had injuries, you know what I'm saying? And then you have to understand this. I had injury and I came back. I lost my title to Manny Pacquiao. Okay, shrugged it off, came back, fought Mario Barrios, right? I got the win. If you're saying he desperate because of his fan base have been reduced, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I can see that desperation. I can see him trying to get back in the limelight and fight somebody. Okay, I get it. But as far as, who he is, he still has a name, man. He just need to find somebody to put him, under the bright lights, man. Have him shine a little bit brighter. You know what I'm saying? He need a dance party. He just can't come back off a hiatus and fight anybody. I don't want to see him fight Blair the Flair. I like Blair, though. I like Blair the Flair. But for Keith Thurman, he's been unified champion, bro. It's time for him to pick only opponents that leveled up. Real talk. That's all I'm saying. Two-time undisputed chat in the game. No doubt about it. Let them know. Let them know, Carlos, man. That's where we at. I would love to see that. That would definitely be good for Boots. I just want him to I'm not really saying, okay, Boots, take this fight with Keith Thurman because I want him to get beat. I don't feel that way about Boots at all. I'm saying he's a young lion in on the hunt. And all I'm putting out there is that he needs some quality opposition. That's all. He's sitting at 31 fights. And really, the name that stands out on his resume would be Sergey Lipinets, a former champion at 140 pounds. I can't give him Thomas Delorme, who was coming off 2 defeats. Cusio Clayton, and he kept the showers running. He was in and out, got stopped in round 2. You know what I'm saying? Korean Chudachake Wiki Chu King Kang. He came in there and he had his brand new On Clouds or Asics or Nike Air Maxes, and he was running around the ring. He went to 12th round, but come on, man. It was 120, 108 across the board. Unanimous, bro. You know what I'm saying? But lucky for the good thing about Jaron Ennis, he picked up the IBF interim world welterweight title out of that fight. And then he went in there with Ramon Villa, who's coming off a dominant performance against Rashidi Ellis. He stops him in round 10. But really, at the end of the day, Ramon Villa had a decent record. You know what I'm saying? He had a decent record. He only had 1 loss, but no one knew who he was. Like they looked at him as like, damn, a flat-footed fighter, tough, come forward, tailor-made for Ennis. Ennis went in there and took the fight, and he stopped the dude. He took him into the 10th round, though. But now you got Keith Thurman that doesn't fight like Ramon Villa, right? He has footwork, and, he's been a champion. He's been a champion, dog. But with 31 victories, 28 knockouts, man, it's time for you to face somebody like Keith Thurman. You know what I'm saying? Even with that, with the numbers the way they are, I just don't see you walking in through the front door. Because look at Terrence. Terrence is sitting at 40-0, and they were still telling him 4 fights ago, oh man, you need to fight somebody that we can relate to. You ain't, man, goddamn Errol Spence can beat everybody on your resume. You ain't fought nobody, man. You ain't did shit. You ain't did shit. You ain't did shit. He beat Kell Brook. Oh man, Kell Brook, what was he doing? He looked weight drained. One thing about it, they love using the weight drain shit when it come to Crawford. He was weight drained. Okay, you get Sean Porter stopped. His daddy did it. His daddy did that. His daddy. And then he fought David Avanesian, cleaned him, and then he finally got the guy who he had to fight those fights for. You know what I'm saying? This is what I'm saying with Ennis. Ennis, you got to fight somebody of nobility, bro. Seriously, that's all we want to see. If Keith Thurman is going to send you the contract, big dog, man, we want to see y'all fight. Sign that contract, man, so we can look forward to that at the end of the year or freaking on the beginning of 2024. Yeah, we want to see that. Definitely, we want to see you go in there and see both of y'all duke it out. Real talk. We need to see you in there with opposition that's gonna test you. Even with Keith Thurman being out of the ring, man. You know what I'm saying? I still think he'll be a good test for Ennis. I don't think Ennis will have just free reign to do what he want when he want, because him and Ramon Villa's style is different. You know what I'm saying? Thurman don't fight like Villa. And I noticed that, if we're going to talk about Errol Spence had tailor-made opponents for him for quite some time that was stylistically matched up real nice. It's being flat-footed, come-forward fighters. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much static displays. Korean Chudikin wasn't that for Jaron Ennis, and he went the distance. You know what I'm saying? Other fighters like Sergey Lipinets, yeah, they proved that they was tough. But if you have that treadmill type of in-play style for Ennis, yeah, he will take full advantage, and he will come in from different angles and land some solid blistering shots on you. You know what I'm saying? But Keith Thurman, he's a mover. He can move. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how strong he is right now. I mean, he's been out the ring so long, bro. Keith was doing to those guys years back is happening to him now. Well, he only was doing it to Errol Spence, though. And Errol Spence did the same thing Keith Thurman did to him, though, Carlos. He did the exact same thing, but worse. You know what I'm saying? Both of them was on the same promotional banner, right? Keith Thurman, he felt he was injured and he didn't want to give him the shot yet. But when Terrence Crawford was moving up, just like Keith Thurman told Errol Spence to get a belt, Errol Spence told Crawford to get a belt. You know what I'm saying? So it trickled down. And then, Errol Spence was calling himself one Keith Thurman, the automatically just say, okay, yeah, let's make this fight happen. Why didn't the fight happen? Why didn't they go to Al? What was Al at that time? Not only that, right? Errol Spence pretty much told Terrence Crawford he'd get around to him when he get around to him. But see, the one thing about Bud, he wasn't going to continue to sit up there every time that him and Errol was in the same camera lens, a camera frame. He was going to say, "Oh, what you going to do, Errol? What you going to do, Errol? What you going to do, Errol?" No, it's just people pretty much knew that fight was going to happen, and they love talking about and asking questions. But Errol Spence let the world know what his intentions was, and his intentions was to go the easy route. So he went the freaking easy route. Keith Thurman pretty much said, I get around to you when I feel like it. And Errol said to Bud, I'm gonna take the easy route, so you already know where I'm at with it. You're not fighting me anytime soon. And then finally, when he got around to fighting the dude, it's almost like Bud just made him pay for all the time he had to wait to get in the ring. We already know. I'm not going to make this a Bud Crawford situation. I really just want Jaron Ennis, the next in line, the young lion on the hunt, to get this contract. If and when a contract is sent or a term sheet or whatever, I really hope these guys are able to fight. I do. I think it's a solid matchup, and I want to see it, bro. They treating Boots like Bud. He can't get a fight with any of the so-called PBC elites on the side of the street, on his side of the street. Well, Bud wasn't on the side of the street. Bud still isn't on this side of the street. Bud never signed with PBC. He attempted to make a fight with PBC in 2022, but that didn't happen. But he was able to return back to the negotiation table. And, pretty much Spence had to switch some things up in his camp. And Showtime was able to get these guys into the ring. Showtime. You know what I'm saying? Showtime was able to get these guys into the ring. And Bud is not locked into a promotional deal with TGB. You know what I'm saying? He's not locked in. That's the positive part. Errol Spence is signed over there, but Crawford isn't. And, like I said before, palms down, salute to these two guys with the amount of money. But like I said, it's time for Jaron Ennis and Keith Thurman to kind of make a wave, because Keith is getting old. And Jaron Ennis, in my opinion, I don't think he's going to be at welterweight division that long. I don't think he is. Boots would have knocked Errol out with one shot, probably. I just think, man, Boots would have been too fast. You know what I'm saying? Athletic mind, he would have been too fast. Would have been able to hit too many angles, man. And had Spence off balance, because his balance looked terrible. You know what I'm saying? Spence balance looked terrible. And then they try to claim that Crawford was hitting it behind the head because his equilibrium was off. Like I said before, I know it would have been nice for him to go all the way to the top without really facing one of the top tier opponents. It would have been good, to each his own. But after seeing what played out with Crawford and how the naysayers was always talking about who he should fight, a common opponent of Errol Spence, and all this to prove that this, and this, and he got it done so easily. I just been waiting for Jaron Ennis to do that shit. So what better opponent than Keith Thurman? Because neither Errol Spence or Terrence Crawford has ever fought Keith Thurman, but Keith Thurman was a unified champion. You know what I'm saying? He was a unified champion. So I salute him for that. You know what I'm saying? Keith Thurman's still an OG at welterweight. But, hey, man, he need to make a decision, bro. What you going to do? Tell him go ahead, fight Boots, because it's only going to help Boots, because he will beat Keith. Hey man, that's what's supposed to happen. You know what I'm saying? You just look at how fast Boots is with his hand speed and how talented he is. You know what I'm saying? But the only thing about it is I look at it like this: is that boxing IQ wise, I cannot put Boots boxing IQ up there with Keith Thurman because he's been in there with the DSGs, the Sean Porters. He's been in there with the big dogs. He has. He's been in there with the big dogs, right? I still say his boxing IQ is much more advanced than Jaron Ennis. But Ennis has to go in there and prove that his athleticism, along with his boxing IQ, has evolved in the welterweight division. That's all I'm saying. His ring IQ, his physicality, and everything combined into a total package. We need to see it on full display against a quality opposition such as former unified champion Keith Thurman. That's all I'm saying. Shout out to Al Money. What's good? I see you in the building. Smoke session, sports and entertainment on deck. Salute to you, brother. Fresh off work to catch the hot grease. No doubt, man. Appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody who's getting off work, man. Those of you that had a full work day and able to provide for yourself and your family. Because there's a lot of people out here that's not so fortunate. Real talk. I ain't gonna lie. They just don't. It's just not there. With everything that's going on, man, people up here, they pretty timid about a potential shutdown at the end of the year. Because every time election come around, you know what I'm saying, they want to put us in place. So only thing we have to think about is an election. I'm telling you, man, it might get bad coming up. Shout out to Andrew Charles in the building. What's good with Andrew? WCS salute to you, brother. Keep looking to boost his retirement fund, just like EJ. Knockout, cash out fight. I don't blame him. I don't blame him when people say cash out like it's a bad thing. People say cash out like it's a bad thing. Now check this out. So for Keith Thurman, if he wants to get the high dollar bill, what's wrong with the high dollar bill, man? You know what I'm saying? I mean, why can't look? They're prize fighters at the end of the day. Why do y'all say cashing out as if it's infectious? Like it's infectious for the wrong reason. Like it ravished the body and cause you to become decrepit when it comes to cashing out. Now, if you cash out and you go in there and pull off a Sonny Liston or Bruce Seldon when he fought Mike Tyson, now I get what you're talking about. Okay, you want to throw a fight. You know what I'm saying? You want to throw a fight just to get the bag. I get it. But if Keith Thurman is trying to look for the top dollar, he has every right to. I don't blame him. He was unified before Spence, before Ennis, before Crawford at welterweight. Before a lot, he was unified, dog. So don't he still have some points on his FICO score to say, you know what? I should still be able to get approved. You know what I'm saying? I should still be able to get approved. I should still have leverage at the end of the day. And that's where Ennis comes in. Yes. You know what I'm saying? Keith, you only had 3 fights in the last 6 years. Yeah, go ahead and fight this young lion and show us what's good. You know what I'm saying? Show us what's good, big dog. Through the lens of the trenches in the building, what's good? W says, come on. Villa was getting punched the F out by Ellis until he tired out and got dropped. Okay. So what I seen is part of what you're talking about is boxing. Ellis was landing some shots, but also I did give a very productive part of the credit. You know what I'm saying? Giving Ramon Villa the productive part of the credit of coming forward and eating those punches. It didn't seem like those punches affected him like that. You know what I'm saying? It was a point in time where it seemed like Ellis was going to have a breakout and do the same thing that Boots did. But you have to look at the toughness that Villa showed too. He was pressing. He forced Ellis damn near to box off the back foot. So when you tell me to come on, what am I coming on from? Like I was waiting on Ellis to come on and start pushing the pace and take over the momentum and start pushing Villa back, but he never could. He never could disrupt the rhythm of Villa and start pushing him back and forcing him to box off the back foot. You know what I'm saying? And look, I give it up to Ellis. Ellis was absolutely landing some great counter shots. He was trying to bang out up against the ropes. He was doing his shit, bro. But just because I said Villa went in there and dominated, I'm not here to talk about this fight in depth. So I'm going to provide you the cliff notes, of my summation. That's all. This is about Keith Thurman and Jaron Ennis, dog. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to the hottest chat in the game, man. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no problem. I don't mind when it's boxing talk like this. Hey, bro, talk your shit, man. Samuel on deck, man, in the building. What's good? Salute WCS from Duluth. What up? The hottest chat in the game. No doubt, man. Shout out to Duluth in the building. Gertz on deck. Peace to the chat. Yes, sir. Keith also said he didn't know who he was. See, now we going backwards. Come on, man. Come on, NO. We going backwards, dog. It takes me back to when they was talking about Crawford said, I'm not really thinking about this fight. I don't really need this fight. And then people say, oh, see, Crawford didn't want the fight. Crawford didn't want the fight. See, that's not where that is. It's just when you look at it, right? These fighters go through different avenues, man. And him saying he didn't know who Boots was, he might have been telling the truth. Like, I know he's around, but I don't know him, dog. I don't know him. Just imagine. Just look at it this way. I've heard boxers make mistakes on certain fighters' name, or certain fighters that's in their division, and they're not too familiar with that fighter. I've heard it. Not gonna mention no names. I heard fighters not really have a clue of some fighters that was in their division. They didn't know. So whether Keith Thurman was being facetious or, he just flat out didn't know who Ennis was, it shouldn't be taken as if he was trying to say, man, he ain't important. I don't know who that dude is. Who's that dude? You know him? I don't know him, man. What's up with it? Oh, for real? Oh, he's a youngin' coming up. Oh, all right, shit. I'll look for him then. Keith's a good talker, man. Is Jaron taking that $500K to spar and done a fight? Well, I was looking at, my colleague, Shaw News, and he was in contact with a team member of Boots Ennis. And that team member, when presented with the information about the $500K, that team member of Boots Ennis replied to him with laughing emojis. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think it was around 5 laughing emojis. So that can mean, many things, but I took it as if, man, come on, that's some bullshit, man. If we was getting $500K, man, we good. We definitely ain't fighting for the rest of the year. You know what I'm saying? I got paid $500K for sparring a guy who just got beat up by the two-time undisputed world welterweight champion. Huh? You want me to go in here and teach him what? Do you know that Bud Crawford did not switch hit during that whole fight? I get it. Shout out to True Me Today, USA Boxing Coach Malachi in the building. What's good with it, Coach? On deck. Salute to you, man. Thurman just fought in 22. He's still a good fighter, and he could possibly hurt one of these young boys if they go in there feeling peachy. Keith got skills, can move, and he's heavy-handed with high IQ. Yeah, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much. I agree with you on that. But, him being out over a year and a half and only fighting 3 times in the last 6 years, Um, his body should have some rest, right? Without going into detail, and seems like he's being overly criticized by me, right? I would say on the lighter side, the delightful side, the enlightenment side. You know what I'm saying? I would say that Keith Thurman body was able to rest. rest, rest. His body was able to be preserved. All right, that's on the healthier, and then on the more grainy, darker side, it can be like, okay, he really need some time in the ring to get that coordination back, get that timing down. You know what I'm saying? It looks like he's pretty decent with his weight right now, but I don't know, bro. Hold on for a second. All right. Um, Boots might not have made the right decisions like Crawford, though. And those hard shots Spence was throwing might have clipped him. We can't forget Boots' IQ is not that high, yet he's winning off pure skill. I mean, you hitting a lot of dots on the hitting a lot of points, a lot of points of reference, dotting the I's, crossing the T's. I mentioned that early in the live. I pretty much said that Keith Thurman, his boxing IQ is higher than Boots, but yet when it comes to athleticism, pure innate ability, a lot of what Boots does, he does so freely. But also, if you take a fighter that's skillful enough when it comes to boxing technique, you know what I'm saying? He could give that young lion some problems. You know what I'm saying? He can tone him down a little bit because it's good to be free flowing in the ring. It is. But when you're in there with a fighter who can make you pay for playing around too much, then it becomes a problem. Then it becomes a situation. Do you have a plan B or C? See, when he fought Korean Chudikin, the only thing I didn't see him having a plan B to C to get that guy up out of there. He didn't cut off the ring right. It's a lot of things he didn't do. But once again, when it comes down to Crawford, it just seems like his 11 straight stoppages. He came in there with a plan that was so effective. Majority of those stoppages at welterweight, we really didn't see him pull out the plan B or C. We definitely didn't see it happen in July 29th. We didn't see him pull out a plan B or C. We just seen him in there demonstrating. That's pretty much what we seen, demonstrating. He demonstrated, on the surface. He demonstrated. He didn't even really have to go up underneath anything like to pull out some tricks of the trade or to break open the briefcase, man, and show us some other weapons that he had. He didn't have to do that, bro. One of the easiest fights in his career, hands down. I'm clocked in, but I'm tapped in. No doubt. Shout out to Cobain in the building. Yes, sir. Appreciate y'all pulling up as always. Swat Jones on deck. Salute to you. Appreciate you pulling up, man. Dope topic, man. I've been wanting to see Boots versus Thurman. I think it's a good matchup. Yes, sir. Man, I got respect for both fighters, man. You know what I'm saying? Keith Thurman obviously has done more than Boots at the welterweight division, but we're not gonna play stupid. We're not gonna play stupid like, well, we're gonna take this down the road and start talking about what fighter him did what over and over and over and over again. Yo, his resume has to be criticized, but it's not like this man can't fight. Boots Ennis can fight. Keith Thurman can fight. But when you're talking about youth, Ennis is only 26 years old, and the way he moves, and how athletically gifted he is, that might play a role with Thurman, or it might not. You know what I'm saying? It might play a role, it might not. You know, Keith Thurman has been known to get hit to the body and hurt to the body. The only thing about it, we don't see Boots being labeled at this as this body snatcher. You know, previously, Errol Spence heading into this fight with Crawford, they were saying this man was the rib and eye collector. I don't know if there's a hashtag out there for Boots yet. I don't know if he's collecting anything except wins. I don't know if that's a hashtag we can give Boots, man, when it comes to inflicting physical damage on his adversary. I don't have it yet. Seriously, I don't have it. Let Keith get his paper. Salute to my guy WCS, to my bag OG. I forgot to take my shoes. Fucking man. Hey, listen, bro. I didn't ask you to take your shoes off in this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Hey, that's somebody else's stuff. You know what I'm saying? Don't bring somebody else's custom and courtesies over here. You know, I can always, hey, when you got hardwood floors, porcelain floors, you know, you can get that shit up. You know what I'm saying? You can wipe that down real nice. You know, it ain't no problem. You know what I'm saying? We good. We good, man. Keith's gonna need a bunch of dookie wipes to beat Boots. See, there go Carlos again, man. You know what I'm saying? We trying to go through 23 and just worry about cooking. You talking about dookie? I'm just trying to cook something. You know what I'm saying? Nutritional value. Put it in the hot grease and cook it. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to do like whoever that person was leaving Atlanta that had a bad case of diarrhea and just basically shit it all on the plane, and the plane had to turn around because it became a biohazard, y'all. They had to turn around, and they showed pictures. That person had diarrhea so bad they had to turn around, bro. Anyway, hopefully nobody was eating dinner already. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully nobody wasn't eating some Jello, chocolate Jello pudding. Hopefully you wasn't dipping graham crackers in a freshly opened bottle of Nutella. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully you wasn't in there playing with some Hershey's chocolate. Keith Thurman versus Boots. We want to see it in NGL, and I'll watch Keith knock Shields too. I don't think it's a good deal for Keith Thurman to go over there and fight Carissa, even though, Carissa's mindset is to switch it up a little bit more than anything. I believe Carissa wants to go in there and switch it up. You know what I'm saying? Just do something to bring more attention. But the attention that I said a while ago, peep this out, right? I said this a while ago. If Carissa wants to do anything, and I guess she's not that woman. But I said if she wants to change boxing, she has to get with other women to help change boxing. I'm hearing that Amanda Serrano will be in a fight and be a part of history. You know what I'm saying? Peep this out, though. Amanda Serrano is about to fight a 12-round, 3-minute per round fight. Now, though, I'm a person that's been watching MMA and Muay Thai, BJJ. I'm not too hyped up about this because, BJJ has absolute divisions where the weight classes is out the window, and you see teenagers to grown-ass adults in there grappling one another. And then you got MMA. The women's been fighting 5 minutes per round for the longest of time. It's just been boxing, y'all. It's been boxing that's been coddling these women fighters, but yet they want equal pay. You know what I'm saying? You want equal pay. So when it comes to her wanting to fight Keith Thurman, I don't think it's a good idea. Because truth be told, if Keith Thurman goes in there and does Clarissa Shields dirty, people are not going to look at it like it's an exhibition fight. They're going to look at still who's the victim. Why did he do that? He knew better than that. He's been in the sport long enough. He never should have hit her that hard. Keith would do Clarissa dirty, y'all. I don't know what she's thinking. I'm not trying to know what she's thinking, but Thurman would do her something dirty, man. She got 2 knockouts. You're not knocking out Thurman, okay? And you're not outboxing him. You're not. It's a reason why when it comes to track and field, they have the mixed relays, and it's a 400. It's not a sprint. All right? Because if you was to take that shit in a sprint, man, come on, wouldn't even be close. They have to give it a full lap to put the mix in there. They're not mixing up. Hey, man, do you want to put a pinch run in there on the 100-yard dash? It's not happening. The times are still so far apart. It's too much, man. It's too much. I don't think it's a good deal for Carissa. Leave it alone, bro. Leave it alone. You're right, too, about Ellis' fight. I just felt he outboxed him until he got tired. But my point was, I didn't feel like Villa was that good, and Boots still need a higher level fight, like you're saying. I agree. I can agree where you're saying Villa, pretty much was taking Ellis's punches until the rounds where he was able to get the knockdown. That was his mindset. That was his game plan. Though ill-advised by smarter boxers, they wouldn't have just said, I'm going to take these punches, keep on walking, tire him out, and then I'm going to really start landing my shots. I mean, it's different for somebody that's on the outside, man. I'm not taking a punch, but all I can say is he did break him down and start, getting those knockdowns because Ellis began to tire and fatigue or whatever, and them legs was gone, and he really couldn't move away from those punches. So it was a wrap. But that's a solid point, though. Dr. Paul on deck in the building. What's good? I see you. Shout out to Cardiff Wells checking in. Yes, sir. Appreciate it. Salute to across the pond, man. Salute to the boxing fans over there. Free Bo Mac. Free Bo Mac. Free Bo Mac. I know it's a video that's going around. And, I didn't say anything about it on here because this is about Thurman and Ennis. But it's a video going around where Brian Bomack is talking about how they tried to jack him for his wallet last time, but he'd be prepared. Oh, I say, oh my God, I've been up here advocating that he didn't know. And, and then I've been asking people, I was like, hey, was it really a setup or not? Maybe he did bring a weapon over there. I don't know, bro. Because they tried to take his wallet last time. I don't know. He might have took a weapon over there, bro. I don't know. Christopher White in the building. I see you. What's good? Salute to you, brother. Ruben said, shout out to Ruben on deck. My honest opinion, Keith Thurman played himself in the boxing community. But it doesn't change the fact that he was the top welterweight in the world and only lost to Pacquiao at the end of his prime. Now, Ruben, I look at it like this. What is that? What is his prime? That's why I don't use the tag prime. I like to use competitive edge or whatever, because prime is different. Like people were saying, Pacquiao been done. When Pacquiao was bullied and pushed around by Jeff Horn, they said, oh man, Pacquiao done, Pacquiao. And then he comes back around and fight Keith Thurman. And he goes in there and look good. This is after the Jeff Horn loss. He looks good. He knocks him down in the first round. Who would have thought? Manny Pacquiao, as old as he is, he's going in here. He still can able to fight. And then he still can go the distance with Yordenis Ugas. I don't know, man. I don't know if he's, like you said, at the end of his prime. I don't know. I just look at it like, does injuries subtract time off how competitive you are? Yes. Does that mean you're not able to compete at the it depends on how bad your injuries are. How bad is his injuries? But as far as him being competitive, it's been fighters that's way up and going on 40, still going well, man, still doing what they're supposed to do. Look at Rigondeaux. Rigondeaux made a weight change, a divisional change at his age to go down the bantamweight. And from my understanding, I think he won a title down there at bantamweight at one point in time. It was a Reggie. I think he won a title, man, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. You know what I'm saying there, Chris? Don't duck me, son. I'm telling you, goddamn Thurman can talk his shit, man. He can promote a fight. I like how he promote a fight now. Let Keith fight Boots. So Carissa Shields will leave him alone. So you try to say you want Keith Thurman's time to be occupied so Carissa can stop, you know what I'm saying, stalking him. I think she should just, okay, from my understanding, her and Savannah Marshall is about to step into the PFL cage. So I'd rather her do that shit. Leave these dudes alone, man. Leave these dudes alone because Keith Thurman, man, he's not no punk, man. And at the end of the day, if he hits Carissa any type of way and she gets dropped, people are going to be feeling some type of way about it. They're going to get angry. You know, we might have another situation that played out when she was in Flint and her brother went up there behind Coach and freaking hit him in the head. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Hit him in the head and knocked the guy out, man. Lost some teeth and shit, man. Real nasty situation, bro. You know, she really need to leave him alone, for real. Just continue to fight women in boxing. You know what I'm saying? Give Savannah Marshall a freaking rematch. I mean, if it's going to be in the cage, cool. No, but for real, I would like to see it. You have Blue Short Bus TV saying he's the next Roy Jones. So now he needs to show us. I don't see Roy Jones in him, though. I don't see Roy Jones in Boots, man. He's not as quick as Roy Jones. He's not basically landing punches in the angles for which Roy Jones was landing. Like Roy was doing Roy was executing some shots that, come on, man, that wasn't taught. Does Jaron Ennis has some of those abilities that he was blessed with innately? Yes, he does. But what fight did you see Roy Jones chasing a guy around the ring like that? Roy was knocking these dudes out. He was super fast, bro. I mean, smart. The shit he was doing in the ring, man, was just incredible. You know, he can say what he want to say, but I don't see Boots as being the next Roy. I see Boots being the next Boots. Because I don't see his style emulating anybody except, yeah, he does have some similarities to Terrence, but I don't even compare him to Terrence because Terrence proved that, yeah, I can switch hit when I want to. But supposedly in the biggest fight of my boxing career, I go in there and start the fight at Southpaw from round 1 all the way to round 9. Thurman's resume is top notch amongst the welterweights. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. He still has that appraising value, dog. You know what I'm saying? He still has it. Let's be real. Carissa's jealous of men and acknowledgement they get. She gets in there with the man she's getting stopped. Man, she's not for me to be an understudy and try to figure out what's going on. I've tried to, with the respect level, I don't know what it is, man. I'm not trying to figure it out. Seriously, real talk. It was a point in time, like, I don't even want to get into it, man. I don't even want to put a business out there, man. I ain't trying, man. I would say it, like, when I was in Vegas, and Carissa, if you're listening, it's point blank, period. I still don't get, I was out there doing media shit. And this is like in the PM, in the MGM. So it was a lady I knew that at the time she knew Carissa. They was doing business. And she asked me on God. She said, "You want to interview my fighter?" I say, "Who is your fighter?" Carissa Shields. I say, "Sure. Yeah, I'll interview her." She don't have a fight. Carissa came out. You know, the lady was talking to her. Carissa went to the right, and the lady came back over me and said she said she was tired. She didn't want no interview. And it was just me and her. I bullshit you now. It was just me, us three right there. Because I was fishing. I was going out there. That's when I was a little bit younger than I am now. You know what I'm saying? What's my age now? Let me see. It don't matter. Anyway, I was a little bit young. I was out there fishing and shit. And I would have loved to get Carissa on the interview, but she just walked the other way. I'm like, damn, that's, you know what I'm saying? That's a bit disrespectful. Like, somebody really dare want to interview you because you call yourself the GOAT every other conversation. You do. You call yourself the GOAT and everything. So somebody want to interview you because you're one of the greatest women combat specialists ever. And she just walks the other way. And then the lady says she says she's too tired. All right, got it. Jaron Ennis stops Thurman. I don't think so. I don't think so. Now, if he can basically put on a body attack or something, and Thurman is vulnerable to, you know, the constant pressure, cool. But I don't see that right now. You know what I'm saying? I don't see that because Thurman doesn't have the same style as Villa coming forward and just dare to be hit on. And you see Villa went into, after being hurt now, I thought he could have stopped Villa early in the fight. But Villa went into the 10th round, man. Do you consider Villa to be better than Thurman? Do you think Villa is better than Thurman? Unfortunately, women boxing isn't that exciting. The rules are way too different. And most of them don't have good power, explosive, and windmill a lot. It's like NBA and WNBA. I see where you're going with it. You know what I'm saying? They want equal pay, yes. But like I said, Amanda Serrano, they're fighting the first women, 12-round fight with 3 minutes per round. I'm curious to know how that's going to look. I got mad respect for Amanda Serrano, real talk. Amanda Serrano, goddamn it, she be banging out, dog. I ain't gonna lie. Shit. It's a difference between seeing Jessica McCaskill bang out and seeing Amanda Serrano banging out. Serrano has way more technical skills than freaking Jessica McCaskill. McCaskill reminds me of her and freaking Isak Pitbull Cruz should get married. I ain't gonna lie, they should get married because they fight the same damn way. And they have a kid. I think the kid will come out and that cat might be a dangerous fighter, real talk. Because they'll do the same shit over and over again. They'll land them power shots, load up, load up, load up, load up, load up, load up. That's what they do. So they have a kid together. He might come out and just be a bad mofo. But she's extremely sloppy to me, bro. But I totally agree with that, you know what I'm saying? It is a separation. And we're going to see how this women's fight goes with 3 minutes per round. Let's see how it goes. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. Let's see if they gas out when it gets up to the 9th round and they still got 3 more rounds to go. You know what I'm saying? 9 more minutes. Let's see how it goes for them, dog. Runtime used to spar Winky as a teenager. Good shit, man. Shout out to Winky, man. You know what I'm saying? He was one of the fighters I checked off my bucket list. You know what I'm saying? Over there in Newark. Shout out to Winky, man. Good dude, man. Good dude, man. For real. Good dude. Ain't shit big, bro. Chilling. I agree. Boots ain't no Roy Jones, man. Roy was different. Well, I'll just say how. Oh my God, man. How people compare? They must have forgot. That's the only thing I can come up with. They must have forgot. Man, Boots is nowhere even in the same freaking stratosphere planet as Roy Jones when he was in his heyday. Like, people really, truly want to see Roy fight. They really want to see what was going to happen, man. They say, damn, man, that's a bad man right there. Dude played a basketball game prior to stepping in the ring with Eric Lucas, bro. Come on, man. He played a full game of basketball, 4 quarters, and then went and fought Eric Lucas, man. He was different. He was different, man. You know what I'm saying? That's another one that I had the pleasure on my bucket list, man. Good dude, man. Good dude, real talk. That's a good dude right there. I'll watch it. Hey, you know, I'll watch it. hey, I ain't gonna lie, dog. I'm not gonna lie right there, man. I'll be the corner man for that. I say, hey, man, I'll do it for free. Fuck it. I'll hold the spit bucket. You know what I'm saying? As long as I see you put hands on her. That's it. Villa came from empty pressure. With empty pressure. No offense to that man. But he was just walking forward, not doing much. Thurman 100% isn't going that route. Good attention to detail. You know what I'm saying? I like that. He came with empty pressure because the same type of pressure that he was trying to execute in breaking down Rashidi Ellis, obviously Jaron Ennis was a different caliber of fighter. So you really had to let your hands go to get on the inside and not just push your fighter back, hoping they get tired of bouncing shots off your head. It wasn't smart for Villa. And Ennis was sticking him with that uppercut. Ugh, jeez. You know, had that dude, Scooby-Doo. He had that mother goddamn sounding like Scooby-Doo. Shaggy, Scooby-Doo. Damn, I can't believe back in the day, man, we had 3 channels and one cartoons was come on for a certain amount of hours. And that was one of my favorite. Goddamn Scooby motherfucking Doo. Man, we didn't have shit. Tom and Jerry, Woody the Woodpecker, Scooby-Doo. Oh my God. I wouldn't change it for nothing, man. If I can go back to those days and vice what we had now, I loved it. I loved it. You know what I'm saying? Because you knew who you was talking to, everything. You know, people used to meet at places, you know, to have contact. Everybody in the house, everything is fake, false, deceptive. Back then, you knew who you was talking to. If you was talking to a woman, you knew who she was because you met her in real life. And then if you wanted to, if you weren't old enough, you go out there to a payphone, talk on the payphone a little bit, as long as you possibly could. Then say, hey, I'll see you later tomorrow, this and that. You know what I'm saying? Then in the summertime, you see where they're going to be at. Hey, you going up to the arcade? Yeah, I'll be up there. All right, cool. Now, people ain't who they say they are. Amanda trying to get them KOs. Yeah, man. Now, I just like her being active. She's staying active. I like her fighting style. Seriously. She is one of the best, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, Amanda Serrano is one of the female GOATs, man. She is. She's one of the female GOATs in boxing. Seriously. 7 divisions. She's one of the female GOATs, man. Period. And she's a cross thread of combat sports. Even though I've said this before, I'd rather see her in the boxing ring than out there in the cage. Please. Randa thought she could beat Floyd. I don't want to see Shields. You're right, Cobain. She did. Even so much to the fact this what came full circle again, right? It was like every now and then they definitely have to give a female an ESPY. Unfortunately for Ronda Rousey, it didn't work out too well for her because Ronda Rousey was so much into herself, she pretty much said she can beat Floyd with one hand tied behind her back. Come on, man. Floyd would have fucked her up. Not only that, she was teasing him. She was talking shit. You know what I'm saying? You know, trying to say he hit on a woman, but yet she ended up getting with a guy who was doing the same thing. I don't know, man. It worked out bad for her because the person that it worked out good for was Conor McGregor. That's all I can say. Conor McGregor took what Ronda Rousey was doing and talking shit about Floyd, and they ended up making multi-millions off that shit. multi-millions off that shit. And then Ronda would go on to get beat by Holly Holmes, and she was done from there. She came back and she was beat again. So it is what it is, man. But yeah. Did Estrada and other fighters do the 12-3? No. I don't think it's ever been done. I think this is the first time. Look, you got to get that approved. Estrada did not do 12 rounds. I don't remember them doing no 12-round, 3-minute rounds. Nah, I don't remember. McCaskill and Cruz, baby, would be hideous, probably come out windmilling. Oh, man, that baby had power in both hands, man. Come on. The baby has to come out with power in both hands, man. And that baby's going to have to come out via C-section because they're going to be a wild boy, man. Seriously. A wild girl, a wild boy. They can be swinging, goddamn stomach hurting out. Take him out. No, he roughhousing too much. Something wrong with him. For real. She may be a good person, real talk. But her style is just super sloppy, dog. Super sloppy. Carissa has a terrible attitude outside the ring. Her attitude doesn't draw people in. I can see where you're coming from, Randy. I can see where you're coming from. No resistance. I can see. I've experienced it. Bro. You say one little bitty thing about her. This is one thing that irks me about trying to basically allow fighters to understand that you have a passion to cover great fighters, good fighters trying to be great, is that the effort that you put in, and it's been proven amongst my people. They've been the only ones that kind of I've heard to say that shit about dick riding. And to me, like I told people this before, if you saying I'm dick riding one time, I'm done with it. I'm like, fuck you. You know what I'm saying? But if you have a passion to go out here and get it, like, going to these fights that no one hear about, just going and jumping on fights and showing up at a fight, boom, boom, boom. And you have this motivation. This is what we call it, especially from the core. Motor, got a lot of motivation. Daddy, got a lot of dedication. You know what I'm saying? If you got that motivation and they say you dick riding, I'm like, fuck you, man. You don't know what it is. You don't want to be. You don't know what it's like for somebody to really want to be close to the sport and close to you as a fighter because you are good. You are great. But you have too many just sitting up here. Oh, man, so-and-so dick riding. Fuck it, man. Word is that they turned down a Mean Machine fight to fight Villa. That's concerning. Shout out to MD on deck, man, in the building. What's good with MD? So you trying to tell me, ain't this a blip? I mean, no, man. No, they couldn't have turned down no Mean Machine fight, man. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, no, man. Why are you gonna do that? I think Mean Machine would have been tougher than Villa. Because Mean Machine can fight, bro. You know what I'm saying? Igis Kavalauskas can fight. He can. She went to the WWE after that. Yeah, she did. She did well over there. She's still doing well. She's still doing well, man. She just was feeling herself. You know what I'm saying? She was the pioneer of bringing the bantamweight division, the women's sport, after Dana White said he'd never have women fighting in his promotion under the promotional banner, the UFC promotional banner. And he ended up bringing her over there, the pioneer. And she just ended up beating my girl Liz Kamooch. You know what I'm saying? A Marine that almost had Ronda subbed. Almost. She just couldn't keep it locked in. She couldn't keep it locked in, bro. So she almost upset Ronda in the first fight. But, Ronda, she still go down. She's a Hall of Famer. She did what she had to do. She was one-dimensional. You know what I'm saying? Close distance, body lock, takedown. And she pretty much implement her judoka from there. That's it. Armbar. That's it. Grappling. Espinosa said should be pushing Keith versus Boots. That's a nice main event. Yeah, man, we want to see that shit. WJ Luckett in the building. Salute. What's good with it, brother? On deck. I see you. I definitely want to see that. Seriously, I definitely want to see it. I think it's a damn good fight. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think it's a good. I think it's a very good fight. I ain't gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I would definitely go pay attention and see that fight. I was really hoping that Shakur Stevenson and Frank Martin was coming to the A, but once again, we get kicked to the curb like a redheaded stepchild, you know what I'm saying, in the orphanage. You know what I'm saying? That's going to be for the WBC championship belt. And once again, Atlanta is not on deck. Man, I swear to God, man. You know, thanks for Tank Davis for bringing 2 fights down here. Thanks to Shakur Stevens, Jamel Herring, you know, for bringing, you know, a fight down here. But I don't know what it is, bro. It's not like we don't have boxing down here. We have boxing. We got the OTX. People's asking me why I ain't covered that. It's not like I'm not covering it. Okay, I'm not, but you know what I'm saying. I just, you know, at some point in time, you know, you got to take care of your health and everything. That's some hard work. I ain't gonna lie. That's some hard work. When you go to these fights, you know, move around. You got to get express familiarization with the fighters because you don't know every fighter on there. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of work. For real. It's a lot of work. But I was really hoping that Shakur Stevens and Frank Martin fight was coming down here. I'm extremely disappointed. I'm extremely disappointed, man. We get just treated like Atlanta is not popping. We popping down here, but not for boxing. Not for freaking boxing. I'm not gonna lie to you. Has anybody in the chat heard any more information about the Bomac situation and that 500K sparring from Ennis? Anybody? I would definitely like to know if you heard any information. Please drop that info in the chat. Please do tell. I don't know if y'all had anything to say about the presser between Tyson Fury and Francis Ngannou. I mean, Ngannou has been training with Mike Tyson. And I'm going to be honest, yes, both of these guys are combat sports tacticians. But I definitely give the edge to Tyson Fury. I'm not saying Ngannou can't knock him out. When you put on those gloves, there's difference between 4-ounce gloves and 10-ounce gloves, 12-ounce gloves. It's a difference. It's a difference in the way you got to move in the ring and you don't have leg kicks. You know what I'm saying? You don't have leg kicks. You can't push your opponents up against the cage and try to go for a takedown. No, this is boxing. Yeah, you can clinch, but you can't clinch and then punch with the free hand. You know what I'm saying? You can't clinch behind the neck and then punch with the free hand. So it's a lot of areas that Ngannou has to break to go in there and be competitive against Tyson Fury. You know what I'm saying? I don't see it. I'm not saying he can't knock Tyson Fury out. He does have power. I don't see him beating Fury, though. I don't see it. And that fight is going down October 28th. You know what I'm saying? October 28th, next month. All right? It's going down. You know what I'm saying? So, my words to Jaron Ennis, please send Keith Thurman a contract. You know what I'm saying? Because you know what I'm saying? Send the man a contract or something. Send him a contract. For real. Send him a contract. And then I want to touch on this. It's supposedly Ryan Garcia supposedly may be facing O'Hara the Vitas at 140 pounds. Right? So they put look, this is hilarious now. They put Rolando Romero in recess because he's injured. No, he shouldn't be on recess. He should be in goddamn in-house detention for that robbery. You know what I'm saying? He should be on house arrest. That's what he should be. But anyway, wouldn't you know that Ryan Garcia is potentially going to fight for the vacant title? Wouldn't you know? Didn't I say Ryan Garcia will probably be facing Rolly Romero at one point in time because that's the easiest freaking fight? So I guess they could just bring Ryan Garcia up to 140 and face Rolly Romero based off that stoppage. So they put Rolly Romero in recess, and now Ryan Garcia is going to go up there and have a fight at 140 to become a legitimate champion. Ryan, who's 23-1, 19 knockouts, and of course, that one loss came to Gervonta Davis. Will fight for the vacant 140 pound title and face number one contender O'Hara. Okay. The Vias is 25-2 and 18 knockouts. All right. I don't know what y'all think about this fight, but I like it. I like Ryan Garcia. I'm not feeling no type of way about this fight because, you know what I'm saying? He stepped in there with Gervonta. He got knocked the fuck out. And then it only goes to show you how boxing work. He gets knocked the fuck out and he gets the same treatment of Rolly Romero. I'm not going to be mad, y'all. I'm not going to stress myself out over this shit. You know what I'm saying? That's why it was puzzling me on how hard they was going in on Crawford on every little itty bitty petty shit. But nobody's even talking about the same treatment that Ryan Garcia is getting that Rolly Romero did. And the weird part about it, y'all, is they fought the same fighter. If you want to get knocked out and then get an immediate title shot, go fight Tank. I cannot make this shit up, y'all. Ryan Garcia gets stopped by Tank, and he goes up and gets slid into a position perfectly for a future fight with Rolando Romero. He goes up there for WBA. He's about to fight for a real title. Now, if that isn't some hospitality, I don't know what is. I keep on telling these people, y'all be finger pointing at the wrong situations. You know what I'm saying? Y'all sitting up here saying what Crawford can't do and he shouldn't do this, but you're not talking about any other shit that's going on right in front of your face because those names doesn't interest you enough. You know what I'm saying? When Rolly Romero was automatically given a title shot after being stopped by Tank, y'all wasn't making a big deal out of that shit. Y'all was laughing. And then here comes Ryan. Ryan the same way. Ryan gets stopped by Tank. His last fight. Now his next fight is going to be for a title of 140. I don't hear people coming around here screaming and crying and bickering and complaining. But they're going to sit up here and say Crawford, he don't deserve that. He's on this and he follow weight drain. And he's all you're doing, that's straight up absolute vitriol and hate. That's all. That's just individuals that's hating with malicious intent, bro. Because y'all acquire this shit off Ryan Garcia. This man's about to go ahead and fight for a title, and y'all sitting up here, y'all busy talking about Shakur Stevenson, Frank Martin. You know what I'm saying? This shit is wild, bro. You know, the same shit that went on with Rolly Romero, Ryan Garcia is about to slide in there and do the exact same thing. Unbelievable. Oh my God. Unfreaking believable, y'all. I ain't gonna lie. I want to see Boots versus Cobb. I would like to see that too, but I don't think that fight is gonna happen, brother. I would like to see that too. I would like to see that. I like Blair Cobbs, man. He talking shit. He does, man. He talking shit. I ain't gonna lie, man. Blair the Flair Cobbs, I like him, man. Mean Machine will give every welterweight hell. His problem is he a 6-round fighter at best. When you say every welterweight, you mean every welterweight outside the undisputed titleists? because he's already fought him. So if you talking about Spence, yeah, he'll give Spence, some problems, Boots. You know what I'm saying? I like to see that fight. I don't know how he'll fare against Boots. I see Boots winning that though. You know, um, Keith Thurman. It will be very interesting. It will. Tyson is a safe bet, but I'm rooting for Francis. I like the guy. Yeah, I like Francis Ngannou, man. Very hard worker for his country. He walked away from the UFC because he felt the money was somewhat, you know, deficient. It wasn't what he was worth. I like that. Plus, he be putting money back in his country, to build infrastructure. I like that, man. Seriously, I like that. Over here in America, you make money. It's difficult for according to how you look to get any type of. It's different. It's different. It's real different. I'm not gonna lie. They got houses coming up. They got prime real estate over here, and these investors coming over here and just they got it on lock. Every house that come available, they building up these $1 million homes, bro. They building up $1 million homes in these areas that I grew up. That the houses cost $15,000, $20,000. And the residents back then over the years have somehow left, or whoever was in there and shit. And these investors are paying the back property tax and tearing it down and rebuilding 3-level homes in that lot. It's crazy, bro. It's all about the Benjamins. Ryan was in a big pay-per-view. They want to wrap a title around him for a future fight. No doubt. Hey, Randy, I told you, it's the fight between him and Rolly Romero. They're going to have them fight. They both stepped in there with Tank. And it's almost like that was their golden ticket, bro. That goose was laying some golden eggs like you wouldn't believe now. Like you wouldn't believe, man. Talk about Black holding belts hostage. Man, hey, I don't know who you're talking about. Who's holding belts hostage? You can't be talking about Terrence Crawford, who just won 30-some days ago. So who's holding the belt hostage? Who's holding the belts? Who's Black holding the belt hostage? You talking about the Charlos? Or talking about Jamel Charlo? Who's holding the belts hostage? Devin Haney, shit. Shakur Stevenson and Frank Martin about to fight for Devin Haney's WBC title. Who's holding the belts hostage? And ain't too many Black champions out there that got belts now. That's what I was trying to tell the brothers. Y'all need to think of a way to stay on top. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to Gervonta, that's really not the way to go, because he's up here bringing fighters on, and they making $25 million. They ain't had a belt yet. You got to find out the not the blueprint, but you have to find out the entire format to just get there, understand what the metric is, and keep on building off that. You got to find out how to be important enough for you to make that good solid money, man. That shit's amazing. I ain't gonna lie, it's amazing, man. It's really amazing. Seriously, how things are playing out. I keep telling people too about Teofimo Lopez. He's gonna make a resurgence. He's gonna make a surge here. I'm telling you. You can't forget Teo. He knows how to market himself. You know what I'm saying? He knows how to market himself. I remember him telling me that back in the day. He said, these guys don't know how to talk in front of the camera. They don't know how to practice. They don't think it's important. He was right in a lot of ways. For real, he was right, because this dude is sponsored by Bud Light, man. How did he get that? I don't know. But I remember him telling me, he said, man, these guys, man, they just think it's all about lacing up gloves. They don't take the time out to work on their PR, their public relations, bro. I don't think he beats Tyson Fury, and I don't really like Tyson Fury like that at all. You know what I'm saying? Francis Ngannou is a good dude. I'm pulling for Francis to get the upset somehow. To be able to cross over. For real, I like him pushing it. At first, I wasn't feeling the fight. Now I'm kind of looking forward to the fight. Do I believe he needs more time to work on? I don't know. And here's why I say that, because Conor McGregor didn't have a long period of time to work on his boxing. And Floyd carried him to the 10th round. So I don't know if Tyson Fury is going to carry Ngannou anywhere. I don't know. I don't know if he's going to carry him. But I know when Floyd Mayweather and Conor stepped into the ring in Vegas, and their pay-per-view was $100, and them tickets was through the roof. Floyd was freaking being a prize fighter, entertainer. I ain't mad at him, bro. Oh yeah, Charlo keeping them belts hostage. You ain't lying. You ain't lying, bro. And Devin should vacate. He not coming back to 135. It's just something about these fighters vacating, bro. Like Josh Taylor vacated and he's done over on the things. Fought Teofimo Lopez. Yeah, he lost his belt, but he got off the belts, man, and opened them up for other fighters. I don't know why these cats, even Crawford vacated 140. Anui vacated and went right up to 122 and became unified champion. I mean, get off the belts, man. Vacate the motherfuckers, dog. If you ain't fighting no more, vacate. If Mel Charlo is not coming back down to 54 because he want to run and duck damn Bud, vacate the titles then. Allow them other warriors that's down there 154 to fight for those belts and go to 160. You can fight at 160. Mel can pick up a belt at 160, bro. And by the time he make it back up to 168, maybe Canelo will be gone. Maybe he'll be gone because he about to take this ass whooping this month. Tio's been in Puerto Rico and Honduras since beating Taylor. You're right. He's building towards something. Tio's smarter than what they give him credit for. I'm tired of telling people that shit. I'm tired of telling people that, man. Dude knows what he's dude had Essential Water, Bud Light, and he has this other sponsor, just like Ryan Garcia. If the brothers don't see what's going on, Ryan Garcia is sponsored by Powerade and has these high-end designers sponsoring him. That's money. But when it comes to some of the black fighters that's heading to the top, they believe being quiet, stand off the grid is the way to go. No, bro. Have your PR people make calls, learn, practice how to talk, go in there and market yourself, get yourself out there and try to get these sponsorships. And then another black fighter come around and say, hey, man, how did you get that shit, dog? Damn. Look, this is our conversation. I didn't even know they sponsor brothers like that. You know what I'm saying? You got to get some sponsorship, bro. The only way you're going to get sponsorships is you got to go out here and let your name be known. You got to give them a reason as to why they want to sponsor you. We know Teofimo Lopez has been on records doing some crazy shit, right? But it hasn't been enough for Bud Light to leave him behind. And I know Bud Light has been in some controversial shit lately. And they suffered a mad loss. But that's not my point. He was sponsored before all this shit came, whatever. But I'm just saying the effort he's able to be sponsored. Like it's okay to get these micro sponsorships, and put them all over your trunks. But do you see Canelo in there with all those damn sponsorships plastered all over his trunks? I mean, come on, man. Do you see Canelo up here with all these sponsorships plastered all over his trunks? 160, he can easily. That division is so weak. It is, bro. That's like the freaking pandemic, the Macy's pandemic department. You know what I'm saying? You some of these Macy's was closing down like it was cool, and all you see is mannequins in there. You say, hey man, let me go ahead and fuck with this mannequin a little bit. Motherfucker in here just goddamn fucking off. Hey, man, what you doing on this side of town, man? What you doing in here by yourself, dog? All the other mannequins left, and you sitting up here just chilling. You know I had to come over here and fuck with you, right? I'm like, God damn, that's the 160-pound division. Ain't shit going on up there, bro. And then, Maul Charlo, man, come on. It's no need. It's no need. At least he's down there, Bodyhead Island. Roy probably got him out there, just clearing his head. You know what I'm saying? Because he got a huge freaking lot, man. Huge motherfucker, bro. So I know Maul Charlo down there clearing his head and shit. I know Roy talking to him. He got some other good fighters. Shout out to Andrew Murphy, man. White Lightning, very good dude, man. He got some really good fighters down there that Maul Charlo can get out that funk. Seriously, he got some really good people down there, bro. He got a lot to do on that land. He got a lot of freaking wildlife, all that shit. Got them big ass motherfucking cane courses down there. It's a lot to clear your mind down there. It's a great investment by Roy because you can't see his house from the street. You got to drive up a road to get to his house. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, it is what it is, man. I hope he get his shit together. So we think Fury wins. You're not saying anything. He say you're not saying anything special. Crawford, the best fighter ever, and he's quiet. He is the role model. Now listen, hear me out on this. Crawford just started talking to the media, bro. And he's going on 36 years old in September. Will I say that's the blueprint that if I was a manager PR and I'm trying to get sponsorships? No. But I understand where he was coming from because I was like that. When I was going through the core. I only stuck to the people, the small amount of couple of people that I talked to, but I had no problem just staying to myself. I really wasn't all about, talking all, but people knew me from, being a general's beef and shit like that and all that. But at the end of the day, Crawford is not the blueprint on where you want to be as far as marketing yourself when it comes to the media. He chose not to he chose to stay away from the media coming up in his career. And like I said, I can relate to not wanting to speak to the media, but in his case, he might have felt that there was no loyalty there. The media was going to fuck him over, act like they care about him. And then time he does something wrong, they're going to be dogging him out. I mean, a lot of fighters think that way, but definitely no, I wouldn't say that. I would say, learn how to speak in front of a camera, talk your shit. You don't have to be out of control with it, and allow people to connect with you in that way. Just like Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman is a bit boisterous at times, but people don't look at Keith Thurman the way they do at Charlo. When Charlo started to run and whine and bitch and all that, people be like, oh my God, not this nigga saying this shit again. God damn, man, will you shut the fuck up? Damn. Nigga, you always motherfucking whining. Damn. And you a champion? God damn. I don't like sending him his drug cheat, but he's great outside of boxing. Shout out to D1, man. I need breaking news. Charlo versus Plant. We'll owe this fight. That'll be a fight people want to see, man. Seriously. But once again, the Charlo twins are attempting to get the Canelo sweepstakes. You understand me, Jessica? That's what they want. One Charlo is already at the sweepstakes. He was able to get, pushed to the front. He didn't want to, though. I don't think Mel Charlo wanted that Canelo smoke right away. And to me, he ain't convincing me that he's ready mentally to step in there with Canelo. He's not convincing me. You're doing all this Crawford ducking, but yet you want to go in there with a much tougher fighter. But yet you up here bitching and complaining, oh, leave us alone. Please, just leave us alone. Who says that? You about to go in here and fight Canelo. You telling Canelo to leave you alone? No, it's open arms. Saul, it's been so tough for me doing camp. You're such a great person. Is there any way after the fight I can come over and you can show me your estate, Show me some of those stallions that you ride. I really want to get to know how to ride a horse. I don't know, my friend. I have to see, man. You might be talking a lot of shit. I hear you out there saying you're gonna beat my ass and all that. You talking a lot of shit, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. Canelo, man, he say, no, for what? You weren't fucking with me before the fight. You want to fuck with me after the fight? Hey, man, y'all say what you want. Talking about Plant slap you like this and slap you like that. If you touch Plant in the face twice after he told you to fucking stop, then you're gonna understand totally why Plant gave you the palm treatment. I'm talking about the mask. You saw that shadow coming from your right side. You know what I'm saying? You say, damn, the sun going down. Oh shit. Damn, man, what you? Oh shit, I forgot I was fucking with you. My bad, dog. I was fucking with you, dog. You did tell me to stop. And see, and not only did Caleb tell him to stop, y'all. Caleb, Mar Charlo told Caleb, man, you on that white boy shit. You on that white boy shit. You ain't gonna do shit, man. Scary white boy. Something he was telling Caleb. Come on, man. That's on some disrespectful shit. So Caleb said, all right, you want to do this shit in front of my wife? All right, nigga. All right. All right, cool. I'm gonna show you what it is, though. Caleb wasn't playing that shit. Shout out to Toby on deck, man. Salute WCS in the chat. We're global, baby. We're global. Yes, sir. Hottest chat and hottest grease on the YTC. Yes, indeed. Appreciate you pulling up, Toby. Shout out to Across the Pond, man. Boxing fans all over. Appreciate y'all, man, stopping through. The Charlos are already halfway into retirement. Man, I just wish they'd hurry up and get there, bro. I'm just tired of seeing hearing all this whining. I mean, are you going to fight Terrence or not? Nigga, if you vacate, you duck. He may not care about ducking, but all I'm hearing is that's exactly what you get from Mel Charlo when Crawford name come up. Man, why he just leave us alone? Leave us alone, man. Leave us alone, man. Leave us alone, man. Why he just leave us alone? I want him to fight Boots. I'm putting him on Boots. Nigga, what are you talking about? You putting him on Boots? You acting like you his legal guardian or something. What's wrong with this dude? He's acting like he's Boots' legal guardian. Who says some shit like this? Oh man, I'm putting him in there with Boots. Leave us alone. Oh my God, man. All I can think is freaking a pink fairy-like dress with glitter on it. You know what I'm saying? With glitter. Some ballet shoes. God damn, dude. That shit's not called for, man. I heard Jamel is taking Plant to court for smacking the shit. Nah, I didn't hear that, bro. I heard that he was thinking about going to court. I didn't hear anything about him going to court. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that you're not correct, because I'm not keeping up with that. I'm not. I don't care. I think Plant was justified in slapping the taste out of Charlo's mouth. You know what I'm saying? For touching him on his face twice, and then taking it there to the white boy. Because look, if Caleb Plant would have been saying something about Charlo being black, Charlo would have went right to the media and say, you know what, y'all up here fucking with Caleb, but he racist, real talk, because he up there talking about he called me a boy. You know what I'm saying? He up here talking about, oh, that white boy, you on that white boy shit. You know what I'm saying? Hey, come on, bro. Come on, man. That's bullshit, man. Fuck that. And Caleb only hit you with a one piece, man. He hit you with a chicken wing, dog, with a dab of hot sauce on it. That's all. He hit him with a chicken wing with that left. He didn't even fully extend that much. He stepped in there, king, hit him with the chicken wing with a dab of hot sauce on it, bro. Texas Pete in the house. That's all he did. He gave him a little chicken wing. That's it. That's it, y'all. But it's been cool. Appreciate y'all pulling up, man. Real talk. Continue to support the channel. You know, as I always say, man, be vigilant out there and always understand that you are the hottest chat in the MFing game. A-Side official. You better know it, man. Stay on top of your craft. Appreciate y'all input, man, on the topics and everything. Thanks for y'all support. Until next time, I'm out. Peace.
Left jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss. Now you counting stars, should've practiced more. Should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports.